You're listening to Greater Good Radio Hawaii. Please visit us online at greatergoodradio.com. Today's guest is Roy Yamaguchi, owner of 32 restaurant locations, winner of the James Beard Award for Best Pacific Northwest Chef, selected as part of the group known as Iron Chef USA, television cook, and publisher of several cookbooks. So regarding the community, you had mentioned about, being a partner with them as well. Could you tell us about some of the community things that you're involved in?
Well, there's not specifically one thing, but what I like to, it's all about, whether it be fundraising or whether it be just making appearances, or rallying the troops together to, save an issue. It could be a number of things, but our restaurant originally, our first restaurant, the original Roy's, is in Hawaii Kai. So I said to myself, as I was, planning on building Roy's, someone said to me, why do you want to go all the way out to Hawaii Kai and to be in a neighborhood where, they call it the so-called graveyard of restaurants? And to me, being dumb or, whatever it may be, but I said to myself, I really want to be in a neighborhood. I want to be in a neighborhood where people can come to, where they have to plan things. It's going to be a destination restaurant. I wasn't really thinking about a foot traffic restaurant where, people will go to your restaurant with instinct. I wanted people to think about where they want to go and spend the evening at. So when I looked at Hawaii Kai, I had a great feeling about that location. And then I sat there for about 4 hours before it was built. As I was looking around, and I sat down and I was watching the traffic, from the second floor of Lanai, because back then it was an office building. Kind of looked at that, had a great feeling, and I said to myself, this would be a perfect spot for people to come to and enjoy themselves. And it's kind of a feeling that I had. But to me, it was important to have a restaurant in Hawaii Kai because I wanted to be a part of a neighborhood. I wanted to be a business in that neighborhood that does good for that community. And we've been fortunate enough over the past 17 years to attract a lot of staff members that live in Hawaii Kai, and we've been able to serve a lot of families in Hawaii Kai. And one of the greatest joys is to see kids that used to come to the restaurant when they were 5 years old, and now, they could be 22 years old, 21 years old, 20 years old, and to see them grow up and then to see them come in with their dates, off to college. Some got married. So anyways, it's kind of great to see, that growth. And of course, we have 32 locations across the country and around the world, but there's never a better feeling to be in a community and to be able to see that past and the future. And to me, that's a very, very rewarding thing to be in a community like that.
So we were talking a little bit earlier about how Roy's does charity events or around the world and almost once a month. Can you talk a little bit about that and the philosophies behind that?
Well, you know what? Since Roy's first started 17 years ago, giving to children it has been very, very important to me. So basically anything that has to do with children, we pretty much do, and it could be anything from sponsoring a youth baseball team to buying them jackets. And we don't need to have our logo on there. It's just a question of being able to, what can you do for your community? Well, this is one thing you can do. Okay, well, maybe it takes money. Sometimes maybe it's a potluck dinner that they want. Maybe it's kids want to go to the outer islands and they need a place to eat for the evening. So those are the things that we like to do. But more importantly, children and there's situations where they may need maybe a surgery, and if we can help do a fundraiser for whether it be 200-300 people to do a fundraiser, and we would actually have hosted at our restaurant. Or we may go to a certain site to help donate all the food, donate all the time. And those are the things we like to do. And, of course, we started a Tom and Warren Matsuda Scholarship Foundation because Warren was a great individual that worked with us. And we wanted to make sure that we memorialize all the hard efforts of his work that he did for us. And then, of course, his father was unfortunately murdered. But we wanted to make sure that we started the scholarship for that, and we give it out to 3 individuals that want to pursue the culinary dream. And to us, it's a question of not being just a culinary talent in the state of Hawaii, but we want to make sure that we get kids who want to be world class. One of the things that I really believe in and what I done with Roy's is that we compete worldwide. Roy's is not a restaurant that competes in the individual cities. I always tell my guys that we want to compete worldwide. We want to be the best and compete against the best in the world. And we may not be, but you know what? We have to act that way. We have to work that way. And of course, we're not charging thousands of dollars like some of the restaurants may do for these private functions and the way they cook. But you know what? With our price points and the profitability that we need to achieve, we want to make sure that we give our guests the best experience that we can possibly give. And like I always say, we want our guests to look at Roy's to be their all-time favorite restaurant to go to and come back to.
Thanks for joining us today on Greater Good Radio. For more information or a transcript of today's show, please visit us online at greatergoodradio.com. This is your host, Evan Leong and Carrie Leong, saying please join us next time for another episode of Greater Good Radio, Hawaii.